quiet, okay? All right, I got Instagram mode. So, the Lil Durk trial is really getting underway for today. But a couple things that stood out to me in yesterday testimony with OTF Jam is the fact that they were not even on to Lil Durk. What it do on Instagram? They wasn't even on to Lil Durk, okay? So OTF Jam, right? For one, he did like 10 years, okay? He did 10 years. He got out in 2022, okay? So from 2022 to like, I believe it was like either March or May of 2023, okay? That was the only time he was out, right? So he got picked up on the gun charge. Now, I ain't gonna lie, most street niggas I know that's felons, they gonna still carry a gun. But they know it's a risk. It's a risk. So I guess, and in Chicago, they give out gun charges left and right, whatever. So he got picked up on a gun charge. He then is getting processed for said gun charge. Now again, that's all they picked him up for is a gun charge. They don't say nothing about, oh, the gun got bodies. They don't say none of that, right? You just booked for this gun charge. OTF Jam said, hey, can I make my phone call? You know, you get that one phone call. He like, yo, can I make my phone call? OTF Jam then says, well, the police like, hey, Lamar, I'ma block you. OTF Mickey is crazy, okay? So, but you know, they've been saying for years I got paid off. But anyway, so the police like, something wrong with the phone, but we gonna allow you to use your cell phone, right? So while he's doing that, he's like, yo, can I get something to write with, whatever? He writes a note like, yo, I know info on bodies. Like he's in there for a gun, okay? But he writes a note saying, hey, I got information on bodies, okay? Now this is the thing. Okay, he's a convicted felon. You know, his charge he did 10 years for was attempted murder. He's a convicted felon. So I'm thinking in my mind, okay, convicted felon, you get caught with a pistol, maybe you might get about 10 on the high end. That's what I'm thinking to myself. Right? You might get about 10. Then at the time, the feds ain't really even picking you up. The state got you right now. So like I'm thinking like even if you did get fed, you may not even get 10, but you could. We just gonna say maybe 10, okay? So all right, so you facing again. I'm thinking this is my estimate. I'm saying about 10 years, right? You wanna open Pandora's box on murders for facing 10. You just did 10. And from what Big Mike from O Block is saying, like you did that on your hands, right? So anyway, so he opens the door. Now at this point, they don't have nothing when it comes to the little pal shooting. Nothing. Don't forget he tried putting a gun on his cousin when they got pulled out over, but the cousin said, hell nah, ain't mine. Well, even that, but the point is, you still only going facing a gun charge. Now, a person like me, okay, that I ain't trying to go to jail for shit. That's why I don't try to do shit. Now, 10 years is a lot for a person like me, okay? That's why I wouldn't get caught. If I was a felon, fuck that. I don't want no gun, okay? But nevertheless, okay, he's a felon. He done did 10 years. He living that street life. He know what the fuck going on, okay? So nevertheless, he get caught with, okay? So I hadn't forgot about that part, okay? That he tried to put it on somebody else, and they were like, hell nah, take your own charge. Anyway, so he write a note. He said, I got the thing for the murder. So this is my thing. Yeah, I gotta hurry up. So this is my thing about how he opened Pandora's box for nothing. So you facing, say, like 10 years, right? So now you're talking about murders. And not just the Lil Pal murder. He done told on the murder of Lil D, right? He done implicated Lil Durk in that. So that's already 2 murders. Like, come on, we talking about you can get up to life for murder, right? So now he's all on the stand like, I just want to outdate, Your Honor. I just want to outdate. I just want to know I'm coming home one day. I don't want to spend my life in prison. Bruh, what you mean? Obviously you do. You don't went up in there and told about murders. You facing a gun charge. How, and like, what's the logic, right? What logic could you have that you're going to say, to get out of a gun charge, I'm going to give bodies and I'm going to get less time? Is crazy. Now, they talked about the whole conversation he had with his baby mama, his girlfriend, whatever, where he's like, oh, 18 months I'll be home. Now listen, free my mother effing daddy. Okay, my daddy doing time. He got 8 years. My daddy talk about coming home every time. Okay? Every time. He gonna say, yeah, I'ma do this job and that's gonna cut my time down. I'm gonna do this. My daddy gonna tell you he coming home. Every time I see one of my relatives, they gonna be like, they say, hey, your daddy come home soon. I be like, my daddy got 8 years. Like, what you mean? But every time he talk to somebody, he gonna say he about to come home. He about to get out. So I think that's just jail talk. So to me, because I know that's how it goes, I'm not really honing in that he really got 18 months, Like, I don't think that's for 2 bodies. I don't care how much you telling. You ain't getting 18 months. That's how I'm looking at it. But I could be wrong. But when the context of the phone call, I'm like, oh yeah, he's just saying that. Because again, you got to understand the average, especially you talking about female. Come on. You trying to make sure that cat on ice for you, right? You ain't about to see him like, man, I'm about to do 20 to 30 even after I tell, right? Because you gonna think you gonna lose your hoe. But if you tell a chick like, hey man, I'm about to come home in like a year, your thought process is she gonna ride it out with you if you say a year. Okay? You tell a chick 30 years, hold on. You want me to put money on the phone, send you money and all that for 30 years? No. You by yourself. So that's what I got from. But nevertheless, okay. So again, you put yourself in this Pandora's box for what? You was only facing 10 years. Unless they continue to tell on other people to get a Rule 35, but he definitely not coming home in 18 months. Hell, if he ain't already got a Rule 35, it ain't gonna help him with this case. Because again, remember, he done played out to the Lil Pab case already, plus the other one. So at the end of the day, if he ain't already got a Rule 35, he done. I mean, as far as this, now he can definitely avoid, time on other cases if he do the Rule 35, but this shit is done already. But my whole point is, I just feel like OTF Jam went outside. Now, don't get it twisted. He's a cold-blooded killer. And I ain't even got to say allegedly, because he done said on the stand that he a killer. Okay? The way when Still said, so you went up to a man you didn't know with no empathy, no sympathy, put the gun to his head, pulled the trigger, had brain matter everywhere, blood everywhere. You didn't try to help him, you just watch him die. And you know what Jam said? Jam said, what I was supposed to do, give him CPR? Come on, man. He a killer. He ain't worried about none of that. So that's why I'm like, at the end of the day, like, nah, they gonna get a 5K1 for this case, probably get 20. No, you can't, like, Lamar, come on, you follow enough case. If he ain't already got a 5K1, you cannot get a 5K1 later. A 5K1 is implemented in a plea deal. So his plea deal is done. If he ain't already got a 5K1, he's done. And again, remember, if it's not already, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think he kind of got a deal like, what's the dude in the Dolph case, the snitch in the Dolph case, the shooter that snitched. What's his name? I don't remember. But remember with him, he told on everybody and didn't know when he was going to get out. It was up to the judge. Same thing with Butter from Jacksonville. He told on Queso, he told on everybody, but he didn't have an actual amount of time. And he got 20 years. So like Cornelius, remember, he did a blind plea. I'm not sure if that's actually what they call it, a blind plea, but that's the concept. Like, you basically do your telling, but you don't know what amount of time you're going to get. So I kind of feel like that's what's going on with OTF Jam, because he keeps saying he just want a date. I have yet to see any transcripts where it's saying, what's up, Trap Made It, where it said anything about an actual amount of time. So to me, I feel like if that's the case, then he don't know how much time. I just know he would have had less time if he would have just took his gun charge. I just don't, again, I don't know. This is my opinion, okay? This is my opinion, okay? I just felt like if it was all about time, his ass would have just did the time for the gun and lived to see a day on the outside. I just personally, I do agree with you, Lamar. I personally don't see him getting less than 20 to 30. I mean, they giving drug dealers 30. You know what I'm saying? So you talking about you done cop to not just 2 murders, but 2 conspiracies to commit murders. You definitely not getting less than 20, 30. That's how I feel about it. Like, he telling, don't get me wrong, but he ain't telling like that, you know? I don't think the feds do a blind plea. You just plead out, get a 5K1, but it's definitely going to be up to the judge on the sentencing because his jacket going to have his points high. I'm going to be honest. I haven't followed a federal case with this type of telling. Like on some real stuff. Normally the federal cases I follow, they did proffers. And that's a whole different situation with proffers, right? That's a whole different situation. Now, if they would have said the nigga proffered, he would have been home tomorrow. For sure. But the fact that they haven't mentioned anything about a proffer and the fact that he's still in like jail clothes, I don't think he did a proffer. Because proffers, some shit's hit different. And then I know Vonnie didn't do a proffer because Vonnie is still doing 302s, which for those who don't know what a 302 is, that's when you make a statement to the feds. They put it on form 302, so they call it a 302. But Vonnie is set to take the stand today. I'm interested in hearing what Vonnie got to say because Vonnie is the one that told on Zoo, Long Live Zoo. So I'm interested in hearing what he got to say. Vonnie is, to me, again, this is my opinion, Vonnie is going to be the one to tie it all together. I feel like they're going to introduce a lot of text messages, a lot of everything through Vonnie. Because that was one thing everybody kept saying, well, why? They ain't introducing really no evidence through Jam. I feel like Jam was just to set the tone, to set the foundation of the gang connection, set the foundation that he was a hitman for real, right? And that really was his purpose. Vonnie, to me, is supposed to be the glue to put everybody together. That's how I feel about it. And even when I talked to Vonnie Daddy last year, he was on some type of shit like that. Because Vonnie Daddy said, basically, he was with Vonnie to go pay Lil Tim and them. And y'all remember when I went on No Jumper, I was like, I don't know. It sounds kind of far-fetched. But shit, I don't know. But that's what Vonnie Daddy saying. Okay. But yeah, so that's my recap with OTF Jam. He's supposed to finish testifying today. The other defense attorneys have a chance to cross-examine him. Y'all know I be on YouTube every morning to do a recap. So y'all catch me on YouTube. But that's that's the quickest synopsis I can give y'all as far as the OTF Jam part. OTF Jam started talking without they ain't had to apply no pressure. He basically ain't want to go to jail for a gun. You know what I'm saying? And he got to telling on the whole gang. What dog say? Tell on the whole gang. He told on the whole gang. Okay? To the point he gave them the blueprint to go back so they can get the evidence to now why we are having a Lil Durk trial on some real stuff.